So, you want to be a witch. All right. So what makes you think that? Big thing to say out loud. And now you've went off, bought some books, and are starting to think about saying the word out loud. Well, I would like to give you a little bit of insight into the witchy world. I've been standing in spaces for over 40 years now. And there's a couple of things looking back I wish I would have known. And so I took the time, wrote them down, and I want to tell all you young, beautiful witches and interesting magical beings out there who are coming into our community. I want to give you a little bit of insight into what the community is really about, beyond what you've read in books, beyond what you've seen in Hollywood. And let's talk about the real. And the first real is there's a lot of different types of witches out there. All right. And depending on what avenue, how you're coming in, all right, you may not realize, you may think that the group you're in is the entirety of our community. Please be aware there are a lot more witches, different types, different flavors, different traditions than I think any of us are actually aware of. I'm forever running across something new and interesting. And it's always about understanding that every way is valid. Learning to respect other witch ways. All right? So keep that one in the back of your mind. Okay? Next thing I want to talk about to some of you new folks out there is there is no high council. There is no queen witch. There is no newsletter that we all get that tells us that we're supposed to be doing whatever. These are the rules. Okay? Within some traditions, there is a hierarchy, an organization, and they may have their own newsletter, but that is not the newsletter for all witches. Over the years, we've had a couple of people stand up and proclaim themselves to be either the queen of witches, or we had a gentleman who stood up years back and said that he was the king of the witches. He may have been for some witches, but he wasn't for all witches. For many of us, we were just like wondering, who is that guy and why is he saying those things? All right. So, no high council. Third thing, and this I think is a big one that a lot of folks come into our community thinking is somehow they think magic is a big boom, and then you find out magic is internal, all right? Big changes happen slowly, subtly, unseen, felt, all right? Bringing consciousness and unconsciousness into consciousness. Sometimes it's trance work, meditation, things like that. Magic is internal. A lot of new folks come into it thinking you're going to get the big bang, poof, and we're going to have smoke and no, magic's internal. All right, second thing. I think we're probably down to like 4. Yeah, 4 now. Do it. One of the biggest mistakes I see young folks is that you spend your time in books really fearful, lacking confidence, and stepping into the community. Getting out and standing under a full moon and mucking it up, all right? Some brain is going to read enough until you can do it perfectly. That's not how it works. You got to get out and do it and go through the experience. And as an old witch, like I said earlier, 40 years, it's never going to be perfect, nor do you want it to be. You want the universe to give you that little something extra in the middle of it all. and you to be in the present state of mind in the moment to realize it's happening and to grab it and add it. I've often said, what we do, we'll sit up at the cottage, group of witches going, oh, we're going to do this, this, and this. We write it all down. And then by the time we get to the circle, we're doing something completely different, witches. All right? Do it. Get under those full moons. All right? Yes, the first couple times you're going to feel foolish, stupid, uncertain, all of those things. Keep doing it. And you catch the rhythm, the flow. And then once you got those basics down, you can expand. Like I was saying, when you're in the middle of doing something and the universe is giving you an ingredient, you have the wherewithal to be like, ooh, extra, and throw it in there and not be so wrapped up in doing it right. Okay? The right way is when you feel it. The right way is when it all lines up, and at points it's almost effortless. You don't have to work too hard to get it all together. The universe is helping you. Let it help you. Okay? The next one I got is your relationship with divinity is yours. And this is really hard for a lot of new folks, okay? Is understanding that we all have a personal relationship with divinity. What the person over there is doing ain't none of my business, all right? Unless, of course, they decide to tell me. But for me to walk over and be like, what you doing, is a little rude, or at least that's what I think. But, so understanding that it's not join an organization and they have a certain god or goddess and that's the one I'm going to worship. First of all, we don't worship gods or goddesses. We show reverence, honor, and respect to them. We venerate. But that you just go with the flow because I've joined this group and now they say Artemis is the greatest. And you're like, yeah, it's okay, but I'm not really. I like her, but not really. I'm not sure. All right, don't do things you don't feel. And your relationship with divinity will have seasons. It may have many deities. It may have one deity, all right? That is all yours. That's the crossroads that you stand on. Your own ancestral history, your cultural history, the land you stand on history, previous lives history. There are so many different things in which are making you. And the crossroads you stand on, and the gods and goddesses, the deities, the entities, the spirits, that you call are going to all be determined by that. So patience, all right? Start out by sitting up a very simple altar and feeding it, okay? Lighting incense, lighting candle, reading poems you like, okay? I mean, you don't have to go find some fancy prayers, but start that out and let it evolve on its own, okay? And to really, again, understanding that lots of gods and goddesses out there. Next one I got, and I talk about this a lot with the House of Witchcraft, is beware of pretty things. And I say this in the darkest sense possible, all right? Just because they have all the aesthetics, just because they have a title, they've got a cool website, they know some cool phraseology, got some good lingo, they got some words. Sometimes it's fluff and there's no substance underneath it. Some folks, it's almost a role-playing game. I don't even know how to explain it, but really, really look into the substance of a person, the history. When I get a new book, the first thing I do is go to the back to the bibliography section to see what books influenced them, all right? That gives me a flavor of this book. So if a person, we all know how to Google people, and go see what they're about, what's going on around them, all right? Eyes wide open, eyes wide open, okay? There are folks that are very aesthetic. I'm not getting on because I'm an aesthetic witch. I'm a bit of a diva. I like dress up. I like bright and sparklies, okay? But I don't need it. I like it. It's not part of my substance itself. So really think about that one. Next one is find knowledgeable folks, okay? Like I said earlier, Google them, look them up. Do not take it for face value. And a lot of times you can tell an organization by a previous member, really, okay? If they got a lot of upset previous members, but if they have folks in what used to be in the organization, but it was a season, whatever, moved on, and they still support that organization, then that tells you that this organization is good. All right? If they got a lot of ex-members with a lot of conflict, you probably don't want to get up into that cauldron. An organization in which we all have seasons. Here with us, with the House of Witchcraft, we have relationships, jobs, all sorts of things cause folks to move out, move away, move on. We wish them well. And if we do, and we've only had actually, I think, one or two people over the years here in which a little conflict occurred, but we didn't go out airing it. We don't go out saying those folks' names. I didn't put up the video trashing on somebody, all right? That person's journey, they got some stuff going on behind them. For whatever reason, it didn't work with us. And it's for us to find wisdom in the situation. And it's also for us to wish this person well on their journey, all right? Very good indicator. Very good indicator. All right. And this is one that I really want to wear a t-shirt that says, covens are not solutions. People sometimes, some of you young witches and magical practitioners and other interesting beings somehow think that a coven is going to solve something. You get involved in a coven, you're going to learn magic, your life's going to be better, blah, blah, blah. No, no, no. Covens are not solutions, okay? This is, there's no secrets that they know. I mean, I've been part of a couple. I'm still part of one. What it is we get together and work group energy. What's that? We learn from each other. If we're within a tradition, we're learning that tradition. That's what we're doing. We have homework. We have schedules, we have commitments, we deal with different personalities, all right? It is not about, if I join a coven, it's somehow going to get me magical, fix my life, and everything's going to work great. Covens are about a commitment, a journey that you make to work with a group of magical practitioners, to work with a group of witches. It is very different than solitaire. It is not better than solitaire, okay? It depends on what you are looking for. If you want a community environment, then yeah, covens are a great place to go, all right? But if you're really wanting to explore what you're doing, not deal with someone else's schedule, not have other folks up in it, stay solitaire, okay? But covens do not solve your problems. They're not going to have any secret wisdom that's going to fix whatever is going on. All right? Do not come to our community, the magic community, think it's going to fix. Okay? If anything, it's probably going to magnify, exasperate, and reveal what is going on. It's about learning our authentic voices. It's about standing in our own truth, okay? And this is solving our own problems. Yes, my spirit guides and ancestors whisper wonderful words of encouragement in my ear, but in no way do they solve my problems. The other one that I want to talk about is being balanced. Being all good or being all bad just ain't how the universe works. The universe works in balance. The universe works in seasons. The universe works in day, night, winter, summer. All right? This is how it works in balance. Strive for balance. You know, don't get so wrapped up into the community that in any way you are neglecting your physical family, your physical life. Family, jobs, all of that has to be top priority, okay? If a group, an organization, a coven is telling you they're the top priority, no, you're in the wrong group, okay? Yeah, your coven should be somewhere on your top 10 list, is what I tell the witches here. But you have real life priorities that need to be taken care of. Always take care of them first, all right? That walk in balance, you know, and no overcommitting, being realistic about what you can and cannot do, and telling folks that, you know, can't do it. And you don't have to go justifying and giving a big explanation. You just have to say, I can't. And that's the end of that conversation. And the last thing I want to say to all you out there is, have some fun, all right? You know, this, yes, honor, reverence, and respect, but could you wrap some mirth and merriment? Have fun, laugh at yourself, laugh with others, dance in your spaces, all right? That's what we're about, is our joy of life, experiencing life, getting out and doing it, all right? So go out and do it. That is my advice. Have fun with it. The goddess has a sense of humor, you know. It is not all stuffy. So I hope this helps and inspires all you witches out there. Good luck on your journeys. Know that there is a place for you in this community. You are our next generation. All right, witches, we need you. That's how we've kept magic alive thousands and thousands of years. It's because the next generation, just like you, leaned in. And I am so happy that you've watched this video till the end. All I want to say is gold star to you, gold star to you, witchy. Good job. All right, get out there. Fly those brooms. Have a bright, blessed day. And as always, amen, blessed be, ashe, and H.o.W. To all that is divine in every form, in every space, and in all time, please help me, guide me in wise words that these folks need to hear.